So the 2019 NBA draft is honestly going to be incredibly hyped. You've got players like RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, and obviously Zion Williamson, who are taking college basketball by storm right now. And these are the guys that a lot of people project to be the top, obviously the top 4 or 5 picks in the draft next year. But a lot of people, and some people are saying this guy could even go number 1 in the NBA draft, especially since how good Luka Doncic has looked. It seems the stigma of drafting a European player has gone away a little bit, just like the stigma of drafting, say, a Chinese player went away after Yao Ming, which is why Zhang was taken so high in the draft a couple of years later. But this year there is one European player expected to be taken in the top 10, and I've genuinely seen mock drafts with this guy at number 1, and it's Sekou Doumbouya. So before this video starts, we are doing daily December. It is the second day in December right now. We're actually doing 2 videos in 2 days, which is crazy. We've only done 2 in the last 6 months before this. But yeah, we're going to be doing 1 video every single day this month. And if you guys could leave a like in this video, that would be insane. Also, if you guys like basketball content, again, another 29 days after this, so subscribe to the channel. We're also trying to hit 70,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you guys could subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. So Sekou Doumbouya is a player who plays in the first league in France. He's born on December the 23rd, 2000, which means right now he is 17 years old. If he does get taken in the 2019 NBA draft, it'll take him until nearly Christmas before he turns 19 years old, so he'll probably be the youngest player in the NBA by quite a decent amount. He's 6'9" and weighs 230 pounds with a 7-foot plus wingspan, which is really nice. He has the physical tools of an NBA player already, and at 17 years old, he already has an NBA body. He burst onto the scene in 2016 when the French team won the FIBA Under-18s European Championship. He averaged a team best 17.8 points, as well as 7 rebounds a game, 1.3 steals, and 1.2 blocks in the tournament. And the craziest thing about this was that he was the youngest player in the entire tournament. And he also was named to the All-Star 5, and he was joined by his teammate who won Most Valuable Player, and that was Frank Ntilikina from the New York Knicks. It was a crazy achievement making the All-Star team while being the youngest player in the competition, but if you guys saw this guy's physical build, it's evident that he developed quite early, and that even though he was 2 years younger, he wasn't physically any smaller, weaker, or slower than a lot of his competition, so it wasn't that much of a disadvantage for someone like him. Right now he's playing in the first tier in France, where he's not actually starring, but he is playing some decent minutes as a role player, and he's shown that he can hang with professional basketball players at a high level, which is a great sign. And he does have some incredible strengths. Doumbouya may actually have the highest upside of any player in this draft. I've watched a lot of him play, and I've watched a lot of him play in actual games. Surprisingly enough, I've watched very little of college players. I do tend to just watch more so international basketball than anything else. And crazy enough, the way he plays is more similar to a player that's playing in the college system who came up through the American youth system than a player like Luka Doncic. A lot of the time when you guys think of a European prospect, you think probably not that athletic. If you take the Greek freak out of the equation, you think probably not that athletic. You think probably going to be a really good shooter, really high basketball IQ. He's going to just know how to play the game of basketball. However, Doumbouya is an athletic freak. His straight line speed is incredible. His ability to attack the basket is really good. He's fast, he's strong, he's big, he's athletic. And honestly, his ceiling is to be a Giannis type player with a jump shot. His jump shot mechanically looks great, and that's one thing that every scout has been talking about, is that his jump shot mechanically looks great. But the big problem I have with his jumper is that no matter how good it looks, no matter how many scouts are saying it looks great, it'll translate to the NBA. They've been saying this for years, and his percentages haven't really been going up. Even though his jumper looks great, it just isn't going in. So while obviously a broken jump shot is a bit of a red flag, even though his jumper obviously isn't broken and it looks really nice, a fast release, and when you watch him hitting shots in highlight tapes, it looks like he's a lights out shooter, but realistically, it's one of the things he's quite poor at. He will take a lot of shots and he does not shoot well. He also has very little ability to create his own shot. In transition, he's great. He's great going to the basket and he can finish quite well. However, he's got almost no craftiness to him, which a lot of people tend to associate with European players, but he's just got very little of it. In the pick and roll, he excels as a roll man due to his athleticism. He can catch lobs, he can attack the basket, obviously getting it from the roll, going to the basket. But when he's using a pick and roll as a ball handler, he seems to kind of get stuck. While he can dribble somewhat well with both hands, he doesn't seem to have any real way of getting to the basket with ease. And when he does go to the basket from the perimeter, it's either going by a closeout and he's going in a straight line, or if he's trying to beat his man off the dribble, he really struggles and will end up taking a high degree of difficulty shot. And from what I've seen, he doesn't seem to excel in hitting these high degree of difficulty shots. He doesn't appear to have any left hand whatsoever. Anytime I've seen him go up with his left hand, a lot of time he doesn't even hit the ring. However, at the same time, he's not reluctant to use his left hand, which could be a good sign. It's something that if he works on, and the fact that he can get to his left hand quite well and get the shots up, if something he works on, obviously that could be a bit of a strength, but right now it is definitely a weakness. And also his touch around the basket does not seem to be the best. That being said, if everything comes together, Doumbouya will be the best player in this draft class. And I'm not even exaggerating. He's as good physically as Zion Williamson and has the potential to be a better shooter and more versatile. While he's not as strong as Zion, he's not as athletic as Zion, he's not that much less athletic. He's also taller. He's, I'd say, roughly 3 inches taller. Zion is probably not 6'7". He's also much longer than Zion Williamson. He's going to be able to play more positions, and he's going to be able to probably defend more positions than Zion. So if you're looking at purely upside, Doumbouya is without doubt a top 5 pick. However, at the same time, if you're taking this guy in a top 5, he's going to be an extreme risk. He's not Luka Doncic. He's not the MVP of the French League. And the French League isn't even as good as EuroLeague or the Spanish ACB. Doncic was an exception. And a lot of Europeans were saying that were saying that he's one of the best 19-year-olds that anyone has ever seen in the world. That Doncic was an exception. There was a lot of European buzz, but anyone who ever watched Doncic play knew he wasn't going to be that. And watching Doumbouya play, I see a lot of high bust potential as well as potential to be absolutely incredible. And even though I'm talking about high bust potential, there is one thing that's for sure, and it's one thing that he's shown playing professional basketball the last 2 or 3 years. And that's one of the things I kind of like about European prospects, is that you can actually see how they come up against grown men. And Doumbouya is well able to play with grown men. At worst, he's going to be a really good role player in the NBA. And with the way modern NBA is, even if nothing pans out and he barely improves his game and just matures physically, I still think he's going to be a really solid NBA player. Just his body type, his ability, well, his potential to switch off screens, I don't see him as an exceptional perimeter defender right now, or even post defender. However, he has the potential to be great at both of them. He's going to be a really versatile defender as he gets older, hopefully, because his defensive attitude is good and he has the tools to do it. He's just obviously not the smartest defensive player, but again, he's a kid. Very few kids are smart on defense at a senior level, especially playing against European basketball players where they have as high, if not higher, basketball IQ than a lot of players in the NBA. But he's going to be great for switching. He's going to be able to play multiple positions. I honestly think that if he physically gets bigger and grows into his body more and does end up playing at around 6'9", 260-ish while maintaining his athleticism, he could be a really good small ball 5. I think right now his best position for the NBA will be a small ball 4. And with his jump shot, mechanically, it's really, really sound. So if he does start hitting shots, he's going to be a solid role player. And all of what I've said just there, he'll be a Giannis type player with a jump shot. He attacks the basket extremely well in transition, while his half-court game leaves a lot to be desired right now. Again, it's something that he can work on. And physically, he's almost as good as Giannis was at the same age as him. And, well, obviously, he's probably better than Giannis was. Giannis was very skinny coming into the NBA. But he's probably a little bit better physically than Giannis was. May not be the physical specimen that Giannis is right now. Already shoots the ball better than Giannis and has probably more skills than Giannis did at the time. Doumbouya is still a really raw player. He still has an awful lot to work on. But at the same time, he's the most intriguing prospect in this draft, in my opinion. And while I do tend to overrate European players, I thought Janan Musa was going to come right in and be an impact scorer in the NBA. I honestly thought, well, I expected Doncic to do exactly what he's doing right now, but I was right. I was lucky enough I was right with that one. I thought Ntilikina was going to be much better than he was. I think the former is more likely with the latter with Doumbouya. I think more than likely he's just going to be a really solid role player, a really versatile player who can play multiple positions at the NBA level. But I genuinely think his floor is a lot higher than a lot of people expect. However, I think he's either going to be a superstar or just a role player. I don't see him being an 18, 19 point a game scorer. I honestly either see boom or what people are going to consider a bust if you're a role player and you're a top 5 pick. For that reason, I'd pick him somewhere between 7 and 10, but realistically, a lot of these NBA GMs are just going to see his potential, and especially they're going to look at the way Doncic has performed in the NBA, and even though they are completely different players, they're going to probably bump him up a couple of spots just because the stigma of Europeans is gone. It's probably trendy to pick a European player now, so I can see him probably ending up in the top 5 in the NBA draft. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.